I feel like I've always known Stephen Shore's work. I feel I grew up with his work because truly Stephen's work is part of the cultural fabric of our society, of our contemporary condition.
Stephen certainly deserves recognition. I mean, his vision is so compelling and unique and important, and he's carried forward a tradition that was started, I would say, by Walker Evans, but he's made it his own of that time, of his own time, which is the best thing you can do as an artist, It's to take in something that's serious, American culture, and make it your own.
I wrote a long piece about it, about one photograph, about Holden Street in North Adams. The piece is all about the history of New England, and it's about dualities, and it's about Eastern consciousness. I quote something which I pulled out for you this morning. Here my interest is to get as close as possible to the ordinary, the commonplace, and the ugly, as it is possible for a poet to get. It is not a question of grim reality, but of plain reality. So that's what I think is going on in Stephen's work.
This is my story of the first time I saw color photographs by Stephen Shore. In 1971 and the first half of 1972, Stephen and I met regularly to talk about the theory and practice of photography. At some point, he told me he was going to experiment with color negative film using a 35 millimeter camera that was smaller and lighter than the Leica he regularly used. I can't wait to see the results, I said. In June of 1972, Stephen left New York for a cross-country trip by car. In August, I got a call with the message, "I'm back and have lots to show." Dozens of small machine-made prints, each with a white border. The prints were spread out on the very same Gustav Stickley table where I'm seated now. I was overwhelmed by what I saw. The subjects were nothing like Stephen's black and white work that had been on view at the Metropolitan Museum a year or so earlier. Moreover, the subjects and photo materials were vastly different from works by master photographers like Stieglitz, Steichen, Strand, Cunningham, Weston, and others with work that was housed in the museum vault. However, the fact is, I loved looking at Stephen's snapshots. I was transfixed by the formica surfaces, by the plates of restaurant food, by the toilets, by the empty beds, by the main streets, and by the faces of sometimes strange-looking people.
If you see some of his publications, you will notice that it changes from new documentary style, gelatin silver prints very early on, to conceptual multi-part series, to a more snapshot, like travelogue style postcards, to large format color photography, various Instagram photographs and various social media platforms.
Because Stephen loves it when I liken him to a giant baby pigeon. And why do I do that? Because if you've ever really looked around the streets of New York, you've never seen a true baby pigeon. Pigeons stay in the nest until they're just about full size. And then all of a sudden they're out in the world, and maybe there's a day when they're squawking and a day when they're not flying so well, but then they're in the world. And that's sort of how Stephen came upon us.
It was really a pleasure having him around and learning from him in the galleries on how he installs alongside curators, on his collaborative nature. And and we look forward to more in the future. I salute you, Stephen.